Hello friends, this is Coldrun. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. We have just reunited Volusis with his mother, Vipsania, and everything is clearly happy and delightful. But the next quest is called Who is Your Daddy, which makes me concerned. Vipsania is worried about her beloved, and so am I. I haven't had a moment's peace since we were forced to shelter inside Palatium Novum. But now, my son and I might finally find refuge from the madness that swept through our city. For better or worse, we have no possessions to speak of, so we're ready to leave whenever you are, and rest assured I'm well enough to make the journey. I swear I won't slow you down. Volusis, but what about Dad? He wanted us all to meet here if anything happened. I really don't think this is going to have a happy ending for the dad. Vipsania, your father's a resourceful man. I'm sure wherever he is, he's found a way to get by. And if he does make it here, the others will tell him where we've gone. Gala, oh, what was I thinking? I'm so glad to have found you. I was so glad to have found you that I completely forgot about your husband. I feel like Vipsania knows her husband's not okay, but again, I might just be on that despair train. Maybe, like, everything's going to be okay. Vipsania, it's fine, really. He's the chief of Uterna Platform G, and last I saw of him, he was on his way to work. I expect he's still there now, and if not, he may have found somewhere safer. Like, she's remarkably unconcerned about this. Gala, is something on your mind, Kakushu? I know someone who worked there, someone else was worried about... Oh, this is the chief! That's right, this is the guy that... in the previous side quest, we were going to... If we had the key from the chief, we would have hacked the thing. But we didn't know where the chief was, and I think the chief was... Wasn't the chief... Didn't they think the chief was probably tempered, or something like that? I definitely... This was from the quest about the engineers in love. Vipsania, really? I must speak with them. Okay, so it's not like she knows something is wrong with him and she's just hiding it. She just legitimately thinks he'll be okay. Gala, what a fortunate coincidence. But first things first, let's get you to Camp Broken Glass before we start making further inquiries. How do you pronounce it? Inquiries or inquiries? I think both are okay. Inquiries is probably more natural. Oppius and Rimmelno. I hope you've had a pleasant time together. Rimmelno. Ah, hello again. Since last we spoke, Oppius and I have been holding regular meetings with the other machinists to discuss all manner of topics, mostly of a technical nature. Sometimes of a romantic one. Oppius. Greetings, Kakushu. You may be surprised to know we've been kept rather busy with getting the platform up and running again. I'm not surprised. That's a busy job. Oppius. Why, yes, of course, I'd be happy to share what I know. I really hope we find the dad. I am not convinced we will. I hope we do. Vipsania. Is it true you used to work on Uterna Platform G? Oppius. I did indeed. And you must be Chief Frontinus's wife. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. I'm so sorry to hear you've been kept apart from your husband this entire time. Sadly, I've no clue where he is either, but I'll tell you what I know. This could go either way. 50-50 shot that he's dead or tempered, or that we find him alive and save him. But I'm kind of invested in this. Vipsania. He disappeared with the identification key. That doesn't sound like him at all. Gala. Useful information, to be sure. We'll need more than that before we can go looking for him. Volusis, could you tell us anything else about your father? His life is in your hands. If you don't remember enough, it's your fault he dies. Volusis, he was ever so kind and never breaks a promise. Good at making plans, too. It was his idea for us to meet at the station. Oppius, that sounds like the chief. All his ideas are firmly founded on logic. Tertium would act as an ideal underground shelter, and if the trains were still running, they would provide the perfect escape route. Yeah, the kid's pumped. Vipsania. My husband is also a dyed-in-the-wool patriot. He made a point of hanging the Imperial flag out of our house out for all the neighborhood to see, and often spoke of his devotion to the Empire. Oppius. We've a lot in common then, the chief and I. I'm certain he only took the key to stop others from misusing the platform. I hope so. I mean, the worst fear is that he's been tempered and that he's using the key to help Team Fandaniel, the Telophoroi, but I don't think the tempered work like that. Gala, speaking of the key, could you tell us a bit more about it? Obvious. It grants us access to the entire fuel supply network, a pipeline that connects countless facilities, including the platforms and the Enceladium. Gala, I think we have all the pieces of the puzzle, but how do they fit together? He was trying to protect his family. He must have gone to the Enceladium. I guess he must have gone to the Enceladium? Gala, yes, if the cerulean pipeline is at the root of this, that's a distinct possibility. Like he could have been trying to secure it for the Empire. Let's suppose he went to the Enceladium after collecting the identification key. What next? Obvious. That's it! He could use the key to halt the supply of ceruleum to the Magitech drones. Deprived of fuel, most of them would be rendered completely inoperable. Oh, wow. Nice job. Nice job, Dadius. Rumilno, if he succeeded, and that's a big if, there's no telling what kind of danger he could be in now. Gala, quite. Kukushu, Rumilno, there's no time to waste. To the Enceladium. It might be Enceladium. I think it should be Enceladium, but we know in Latin classes we were taught to pronounce C's as hards like hard cuz, but I don't know, maybe not. So we're here in the Enceladium, or near the Enceladium at least. Enceladium, I guess, is over there. That must be like the fuel station. I like the Imperial stamp on it. Like the way it's like almost, I don't know what the term is, like etched or embossed. Like what's the stone version of embossed? But I like the way that the design there. Rimmelno. The architecture here certainly makes an impression. This is actually my first time to venture this far, you know. That makes sense. Gala. All right, Rimmelno and I will search the interior while you look around outside. He may yet be waiting for the right moment, in which case he'd seek shelter from the cold. Vipsania said Frontinus has very distinctive, long, white hair. Keep your wits about you. Who knows what Magitech foes lie in wait. Moment of truth coming up here. So Frontinus wasn't at the first destination I checked, so maybe I presume he'll be here then. Ah! You hear someone scream in the distance. Head in the direction of the noise to see if you can locate its source. Okay. Where? Wait, that's a far away for me to hear the noise, but we'll go with it. Quick break, though, because it looks like there's some Daleks here to kill. Exterminate, exterminate is the new fate I've seen. This horde of automated Magitech weaponry was already a menace when under the command of its creators, and now that the machine's programming has been overwritten by some unknown malefactor, it no longer distinguishes between friend and foe. For the sake of your allies and Garlean survivors alike, you must eliminate the threat with all due haste. Here is Frontinus, alive and well. Holy shit. This enemy is like a mech gorilla. Wasn't it a boss in some dungeon? I don't remember where, but I swear I remember seeing this sort of Magitech gorilla type enemy before. I just can't pin it down exactly. My dungeon memory is awful. As bad as any other specific memory I have. Frontinus. Yeah, we're reuniting the whole family right here. Wow. You saved me, but why? Rimmelno, is everything all right? Gala, Frontinus, yes? We've been looking for you. Frontinus, must be my lucky day. Way things were going, if the drones hadn't finished me off, starvation surely would have. So much for my brilliant plan. After I had barely escaped with my life, I holed up within the perimeter walls. When my supplies ran out, I decided to take one last crack at it, and look where it got me. Rimmelno, save your strength. We'll get you out of here. Frontinus. Wait, you're not one of us. Oh, God, This is like... so a lot of the people we've seen were... I think we've seen a dearth so far of older, specifically patriotic Imperials. And I think we've seen a dearth of them, and I'm worried that he's going to go full Quintus on us. Not that bad. I don't think he's going to kill himself, but I do worry about him. I worry about him. I worry about how he's going to react to this. But he has a family, though. Quintus had no one outside of the military, I don't think. No, his family was killed, if I remember. Rommel, no. Correct. My comrades and I have come to Garlemald to lend what help we can. We've made camp in Laterum, and your family is waiting there for you. That's right. The family changes everything. It really does. Frontinus. They're alive. Thank the heavens. Gala. We'll take care of Frontinus. Hurry back to camp and give his loved ones the good news. Okay. We are really doing a whole family reunion here, and it is great. And it just hit me. This probably wouldn't have opened up if I hadn't done the engineering quest. If I hadn't done the quest with Rimmelno and Appius before, right? These just kind of build on each other. Emperor's Personal Guard. Volusus and Vipsania have been on tenterhooks ever since you departed. I do hope you have good news for them. We shockingly do. Vipsania. Did you manage to find him? We shockingly did. Appius. Wait, where's Rimmelno? Did something happen during the search? Again, this is straight up canon relationship. Straight up canon. No, not even joking. Again, straight up. It was weird that I have to say that, but I'm taking it as canon. Volusus. You're back. So, did you find my dad? Shockingly, we did. He hopefully will be here or just coming around the bend. Yes. Volusus. Dad! This is lovely. This is really pleasant. I am so happy that there's going to be plenty of tragedy. There has been plenty of tragedy, and it doesn't need to be ubiquitous, though. Vipsania. Frontinus. Appius. It's wonderful to have you back, Chief. Frontinus. It's wonderful to be back, believe me. I'd hoped to put a stop to those rampaging drones by cutting off their supply of ceruleum, only I bit off more than I could chew. Appius. You did your best, Chief, and that's all anyone could ask. You're a brave man, Frontinus. Reckless, but brave. No, I'll go with at least you're back with your family, because that's the thing I want to put the emphasis on. Yeah, it worked out. I do think he's brave, but it's just a question of... It's not which is right, it's just which I want to emphasize. Frontinus. I wouldn't be standing here right now if you hadn't saved my bacon. Words can't express all of my gratitude for all you've done for me and my family. Appius. There was one other thing. We had to jury-rig the platform to get it working. Since you took the key. I know you must be angry, but no, he's not going to be angry. He's going to be pleased at your ingenuity and your ability to get the job done. Frontinus. Angry? Far from it. Yep, there we go. You were only trying to help the townsfolk return to a normal way of life. At any rate, I'd lost the identification key when I was set upon by the drones. Appius. Well, they won't be around for much longer if the contingent's got anything to do with it. You're going to love this camp, too. It's full of gifted engineers, handsome engineers. I'm sure there'll be all kinds of projects for you to busy yourself with once you're feeling better. And despite everything that's befallen Garlemald, our platform is set to play a starring role in the reconstruction efforts. Frontinus. Indeed, but more than that, I'm delighted to be with my family. I missed you two dearly. This is really beautiful, and I keep saying this. I didn't think this is the way this quest was going to go, and I'm so happy it is. Or it did. Vipsania. As did we. Now that we're together again, everything will be all right. I know it will. Thanks to our newfound friends, we've been given another chance at happiness. Is there ever any heaven more beautiful than second chances? Any paradise more powerful than a second chance, than another opportunity? I really don't think there is. We did it. Whew. That was intense. I'm so glad that worked out. I am so glad that worked out. All right, next to these little side quests, best delivered cold. By the way, quick note on why I do these one by one. Because I could just pick these all up and just knock them out in a row. But I like focusing on the story, and I don't think I'd be able to focus on each individual story nearly as well if it kept interrupting each other. I have a hard enough time even when I have to take a break to do a new fate that I see pop up. It's something that the game, The Secret World, did very well, where you could only take one main quest on at a time, and like you weren't allowed to pick up others until you completed it. It let you focus on the voice acting and the story and just everything, the strategy and everything. Really, it was more immersive than just picking up a slew of them and doing them all at once. For me, at least. Of course, it's for me. There's no one right way to do it. Oh, and one more thing. When I was out there also, I picked up the last of the ether currents that was just out in the wild. And so I wonder if this is going to be the final ether current. Actually, can we see that? Is there something that shows it? I think there is, right? No, so there's two more. Best delivered cold. The Commissary Officer has her hands full and is in need of an extra pair. Well, well now. Here's a sight that warms the heart. Never thought I'd have the honor to meet a hero of your pedigree, let alone beg for your aid. You see, I got a shipment of supplies to send down to Tapper's Den, and having someone who knows the lay of the land by my side would go a long way to ensure its safe delivery. I'd defend it myself, but I have to carry the bloody thing. If you'd be so kind as to escort me, I assure you I'd make it worth your while. Hey, helping others is reward enough. And Gil. Well then, I'll be waiting outside the gates of the camp. Come meet me when you're ready, but don't take too long. Monsters abound in these parts. I'm glad we're going back to Tapper's Den. I'm interested to see what's up in that place. There you are. I knew you'd have the heart to help a soul in need. Okay. So we are heading... Where's Tapper's Den again? Tapper's Den is... Oh, the map shows it. It's... Wait, that's not... Oh, really? Yeah, I just got the geography of this place messed up. Can I talk to you? Oh, my friends aren't going to believe who's protecting me. I'll be telling them this story when I'm in my cups for moons to come. I am a celebrity. One improvement I'd like to make to this companion system is when you can mount up, I'd like for, instead of the companion, the person following you to just... Because they get out of range really quickly. I'd like for them to mount up too. It would be neat if they could have their own little zone-appropriate mount to keep pace with you. Commissary Officer. Here we are, safe and sound. Couldn't have done it without you, friend. All that's left is to deliver the goods. Let's enter those caves and get some shelter from these freezing winds, eh? Do let's. So it'll be good to see Tapper's Den again. Hopefully the people I knocked out in my first trip here are not holding any sort of grudges. Jarek. That trek couldn't have been an easy one, what with the monsters and the cold and everything else besides. It ain't worth much, but you have my thanks. No problem. Commissary Officer. Well, the goods have been safely delivered, but I'm afraid I have one more task to beg of you. I'd do it myself if I could, but I'm afraid this calls for someone with skills I lack. You're not obligated to help me again. I already gave you the ether current, but seeing as how you're already here, maybe you won't mind hearing me out. I do not mind hearing you out. Bump, 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 bump. Armored up. The Commissary Officer is pleased to see you willing to help once more. I'm a helper. Not in real life, but in game at least. Commissary Officer. So you found it within your heart to help an old friend once again, eh? Rest assured, I won't soon forget your generosity. Now, on to the matter at hand. The people here have told me about the Magitech weaponry stalking the frozen tundra. With no pilots to guide them, they unleash their fury upon whosoever is unfortunate to cross their path. Nice use of whosoever. Several of the refugees attempted to combat the threat using a few abandoned suits of Magitech armor, but they were soon overwhelmed. It's not often you see Magitech turn on Magitech, but not much surprises me these days. Luckily, no one was killed during that incident, but the mindless machines are still out there, primed and ready for the next target. That's where you come in. The stories say you're a demon in Magitech armor. Oh my god, this is the stories from the Praetorium. That's what it is, the stories of the Praetorium when I had to don that suit of Magitech. And I reckon you'd reduce those things into piles of scrap before I even felt the chill in my fingertips. Like I said before, I'd do it myself, but seeing as how I've never even ridden in a suit of armor, I'd just be buying myself a ticket to an early grave. Rest assured, however, that I'll do my best to... Sorry about that. Rest assured, however, that I'll do my best to learn from your example. Any road, there's a suit waiting for us outside. I'll go ahead and ready it for you. Don't leave me waiting out in the cold for too long. So, I'm going to be curious to see if they actually give me the quest for... What was I going to say? I'm going to be very curious to see if they actually give me the same mech as we used in Praetorium. It looks the same, but I mean, if it's going to have the same, like the button 1, which is like the frontal line blast, and button 2, which was the targeted blast. Well, Commissary Officer, well, she's as ready as she'll ever be. I don't think I need to tell you this, but make sure not to bring those things near the cave. I'll stand watch from here to make sure all goes to plan. Stay safe out there, friend. Yup, it's the same friggin' thing. Alright, so let's see if we can... I was always bad at this, despite whatever she heard, but we'll see how this goes. Alright, so Magitech Pulse is just the... Yeah, just a little frontal blast. Here we go. Okay. Oh, so this is the spammable one. No, none of them are spammable. You have to alternate them. Okay, but this is super powerful and I have tons of health. No problem at all. Did you see that display of technological prowess? Commissary Officer, there you are, safe and sound. See, I knew you'd make quick work of those heaps of metal. Doubtless they were used to deadly effect when the Garleans waged war amongst themselves. In order to ensure they fired upon their own countrymen, they were made to destroy anything that came within their sights. The fact that they're causing trouble this far out is distressing indeed. I must warn my superiors upon my return. Before that, however, there's yet one more task I would ask of you. I fear I might be imposing over much, but you have my word, this is the last one. No, keep them coming. Keep them coming. You're totally good. Bum 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 bum. A dream of home. One final task, and I won't bother you any longer. You needn't fight anything, at least not if you don't want to. No, this time I mean to make use of your more diplomatic faculties. One of my duties here is to find out whether the refugees wish to return home or not. Naturally, each will have their own decision and their own reasons, but getting a general feel for things will help us determine the best way to help in the days ahead. Agreed. I'll gather what information I can from the people in the caves. You have only to speak with one man, but it may take a bit of work to find him. I've been told he ventured off toward the wreckage of the Imperial train. Now, we could wait for him to return, but I'm running behind as is. If you could do this, you'd be helping not only me, but all those who have been left without a home. We found this refugee. Let's see what you have to say. Oh, it's not often I encounter someone else out here, but you come here for cerulean, then I'm afraid this area's already been picked clean. No, I'm here to ask if you wish to leave Garlemald. That's... I mean, they're both... I mean, it's a refugee, so they're both kind of good questions. Yeah, do you wish to return to your homeland? Jarek has already asked me as much, but I suppose you must be thorough. Could you give me a moment? I would first like to offer a prayer to the departed. The wreckage was left in the wake of one particularly fierce battle. A dear friend of mine journeyed here to search for it for abandoned supplies, but a sudden explosion cut his life short. I'm sorry to hear that. Although I'd meant to offer him a lone prayer, why don't you join me? He was always one to enjoy the company of others, even those he scarcely knew. I know people like that, and I am shocked that those people exist, but they absolutely do. I've placed these stones to mark the spot of his passing. Pray to his memory, if you will. I like the word cairn. Refugee, thank you. Whatever sustenance prayers provide to those who have passed, I'm sure my friend is grateful for it. As for your previous question, well, I am Alamegan by birth and was taken from my home and family by the Empire, made to serve in their interminable wars. After 10 years, my hands were so stained with blood I no longer recognized them as my own. Days, weeks, years blended into one another, until finally I was released from service. For the first time in a long while, I thought for myself. Did my wife and child still live? Would they allow one so steeped in sin back into their home? Even now, I cannot bring myself to consider the answers to those questions. It's not your fault. So in short, I cannot say. Please, leave me with my thoughts. I won't be far behind, I promise. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. I don't blame him for feeling guilt, for feeling like he wouldn't be welcome, but I can't imagine he would be unwelcome. And he doesn't, the guilt is misplaced. The guilt is not his. Has he not come back yet? I guess not. Commissary Officer. There you are, and even sooner than I'd anticipated. What did the man say? I see. Such a tragic story, but sadly not an uncommon one. It seems that for some, the question of where home lies has no easy answer. In any case, we've done all we can at present. Let's return to the camp and report our findings to the contingent, eh? Indeed. Commissary Officer. I've gone to the trouble of submitting my report already, so you needn't worry about that. And as I promised, that brings an end to my endless requests. Truth be told, my motivations for being here aren't entirely out of a sense of duty. My father was conscripted into the Garlean forces long ago, so when I heard that refugees had been found here, I had to meet them for myself. Oh my god, the chances are so small, and you're doing it anyway. I volunteered for this duty, but unfortunately, none of the refugees stirred my memories of him. Still, I won't give up the search. No matter what misdeeds he was forced to commit, all I want is to see him again, to share a meal under the same roof. Why did you make me go talk to this guy? You would have had a much more convincing argument. I guess you had no way to know that that's what he was going to say, and you had your own stuff to worry about. Some, like Jarek, seem resigned to accept this place as their home, but there are others like my father who have people waiting for them, searching for them. If I can see even one family reunited, then all of this will have been worth it. Although my road ahead is a long one, it's time I stop forcing you to walk it with me. You're not forcing me. Thanks for all you've done. Please, take this. You've earned it 1,000 times over. 800 gil. Thank you. Okay, I think we got time for one more side quest for today. We'll probably finish up the rest of these next time. Barthélemy. Beasts of the Imperial Wild. Barthélemy in Camp Broken Glass is having a devil of a time trying to keep the stores pest-free. Blast it all! Overgrown bastard got away with it again. If there was someone we could turn to, but who? Yeah, it's easy to not notice me. I'm like the size of your knee. Oh, excuse me. Didn't see you there. Pardon my mumbling. Hold a moment. Let me have a look at you. Those eyes, that steady-set jaw. Yes, you're a doty sort, aren't you? Perfect. You are just the woman I was in the market for. I am... sorry? Oh, wrong market. Our camp stores are being pillaged, plundered, and altogether despoiled, which is troublesome indeed. as we've so little in the way of provisions as it is. Fortunately, the thieves left tracks, which the Garlean hunters of the area tell us belong to a variety of Yeti known as Almasti. I've met the Almasti. The wretches are so wily that once they've found a source of food, they come in droves, telling all their accursed friends. So that leaves us with only one recourse: murder. I was told to find the assistance of a master huntswoman, but you certainly can't find one of those just lying about. I was fretting over whom to ask when you fell straight into my lap, and you seem as good a hunter as any, right? I'm a pretty good hunter. I've completed a fair bit of hunt marks. None of the S ranks, but a lot of others. If you're willing to cooperate, and I'm sure that you are, speak with me. Speak with the Imperial hunter just outside camp. He'll set you on the right path. Imperial hunter. Wait, Imperial hunter like you hunt Imperials, or you're an Imperial who hunts? I don't know. Could be either way. I was looking to see if you're the gem. Hold a moment. I know you. Yes, you're one of the Oresians who was brought to the station, aren't you? I was told I'd receive assistance from one involved in the contingent's decision-making processes, but I must say, seeing you here comes as a shock. You seem the sort of person to be above the sniping of vermin. Sure you've time to spend on such menial tasks? Absolutely, I'm in. Very well. I won't press the subject any longer. Your assistance will prove invaluable. I'm certain. Now then, time is wasting. Let's reconvene in the Eblin Rime, the Almasti's territory, where we'll set the trap. Yeah, let's hunt some snow mice. Imperial Hunter. This is the Almasti's territory, land, and considering how prolific the things are, we shouldn't have to wait long before one comes lumbering by. But I forget myself. Before we go hunting, here's specialty spirits. Not for you, of course. For them. Oh, rude. The Almastis. Drown them in this stuff and there'll be 3 sheets to the wind before you know it. There's no easier quarry to catch than a drunk fool, am I right? Do they drink alcohol? I guess they do. Also, once you've felled one, don't forget to collect a bloody chunk from it. Just like as a trophy, I'm down for it. We'll set up like a scare Almasti, like a warning to the others. I don't know how this is going to work. Specialty spirits, exceptionally strong spirits of which many Garleans have partaken, guaranteed to put hair on one's chest if it doesn't knock one out cold first. So do I just do this now? I don't see a debuff. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Oh wait, it did it work? Maximum HP is reduced. Okay, yeah, it must have worked. Okay. So now we have to carve the bloody chunk from it. Oh, I guess we already carved it. I thought it might be like a Rathalos thing where you, once it's down, you have to carve it. Have you the bloody chunk I requested? I should hope you kept it in a bottle, for I would rather not have gore dripping all over the both of us. You are kind of grim, aren't you, dude? Bloody chunk of Almasti. A chunk of Almasti practically dripping with the creature's blood. Lovely. Good work. I must say, you've quite the mettle to face such beasts without so much as a batting an eyelid, though it was silly of me to expect aught else from the self-same woman who set foot into Tertium, knowing full well it was a trap. You must be wondering why the blood. Well, the Almastis are clever creatures. They won't willingly wander into danger. It actually is like a scarecrow for Almastis. I was right. They won't willingly wander into dangerous lands, especially ones with the smell of death. So sprinkling a copious amount of their fellows' gore about the encampment ought to ensure they give us a wide berth. Let's head back to Camp Broken Glass. There you can tell the soldier who sent you that he was right to put you on the job. Good. Securing the meat, I'm fine with that. Job well done. Go us. Barthélemy. The hunter has delivered word to me already of his plans to deal with our Yeti troubles. How clever a stratagem he's hit upon. If only the method weren't quite so macabre, shall we say? Almost surreal to consider that our Willem foes now aid us in our survival. Our Willem foes? I don't know what that word means. I'm Googling this right now. Willum. It's an archaic word meaning formerly or in the past. Wow, I just never heard that term. It rings 0 bells. Today has proven to me that we really can bridge the divide once separated us from them. All it takes is for us to simply reach out and offer a hand in friendship. I mean, there's a lot else that it takes, but given the current circumstances, I think in the present moment in time in history, I think, yes, reaching out a hand is often enough. I should like very much for this newfound partnership to continue. It's sort of like with the Beastmen. It's such a radical change for this to no longer be a problem, for us to no longer be at war with the Beastmen, and now for us to potentially not be at war with the Imperials. They really were not kidding when they said they're going to close the chapter on the first section of Final Fantasy. Anyway, that's going to be it for me for now. Next time, we will finish up the side quest here that appeared in Camp Broken Glass, and then we will continue with In From the Cold, the main story quest afterwards. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all later. Bye-bye.